In this lesson, you will learn how to apply repeat grade and component. Repeat grade helps with repeating elements and can save a lot of your time in designing user interfaces. Meanwhile, component will help you to reuse the same element of icon or symbol of your user interface. Let's try to create a mobile application for an e-commerce that sells furniture. Currently, I have one artwork which I renamed it as a collection, consisting of hamburger button, search bar tool, and few other categories. Now, let's start with creating a simple rectangle tool. The shortcut is R. Simple shape, and assume that this will be an images that we're going to add later. Choose text tool, or the shortcut is T, and type funny. And this is Muli. Hold Alt and to make a faster code. Double click, and let's change it to price. Make the whole selection, align to the left. Yeah. Now, I already created a simple categories for one of the software collection that we add the image later. So let's assume in this interface alone, you're going to add a few more different software categories, which you can just hold Alt to make a faster copy at the bottom here, and another one more Alt and paste it up here. Now, this one might seem easy because you only have 3 different software categories. But what if your client has given you 100 over collection that you need to fill it out in a different user interfaces? So if you repeat this same step, it is very time consuming and you're wasting a lot of your time. In Adobe XD, there's this one feature which is called a repeat grade. To apply repeat grade, let's undo. Just delete the previous step. Let's reduce the size of the box a bit. Just position of your product name and the price. Now make a selection, and then on the property inspector on your right, there is a repeat grade features here. Before you click at it, you will notice that the selections that we have on this artboard currently is in blue outline. Once you click at repeat grade, it will turn into a green color, which it comes with this slider button with the bottom, as well as on your right corner. It means that you can slide it until your desired amount of the box and the product descriptions that you would like to have. So currently I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if you are having a smaller, let's say for an example, look at this one. If let's say I am having a smaller like that, you can even adjust it and drag to your right. So this one, to have the repeat grade, it depends on the sizing for each of your layout, but currently I'm just gonna undo and let's remain to the 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 box. Okay, and since you already noticed that you're having more area at the bottom here, which means that you have to double click at your artboard and you need to resize it. So let's adjust the positions of your box and the description, and click at the artboard and resize it again. So let's remain to that size. So in the previous lessons, you have learned that once you have came across with this icon in blue color, comes with dotted line, which indicate that this is the area that user needs to scroll to the bottom. Now we have already created a simple base that you're going to put the image. To import an image into WXD, I will show to you one of the fastest way to do so. For that purpose, I have created a dedicated folder which indicate all the 7 software collection that I'm going to fill it out inside of this rectangle shape. So make a selection, select the 7 so far, and just drag to the first box here. Once I drag at it, you will see that the box started to turn into a blue color. And once you release your mouse, the magic will happen, which is Adobe XD will automatically fill it up, the rectangle shape on your behalf, and it will fill with the images that you have selected earlier. So to make an adjustment, you still can do so, which is by double-clicking at each of the image column here and adjust accordingly. So make sure once you make an adjustment, the space is still fit within the rectangle shape that we have created earlier. And for the second one, maybe slightly to the top. The third seems okay. The fourth, click, just manually, fifth, and this one maybe just a little bit to the top. And there you go. Now we're done with adjusting position for each of the image. Now, you can also apply the same technique with the text here. So in this folder, I have created a text document file, which if I open this, it consists of a lot of names that represent each software collection here. So currently I have 7, just started with Cabriolet, Auntie Moana. So in Adobe XD, you can also import a text document inside of your working file. So to apply that, you can just make a selection for your software name here and just drag to the product name, which it will turn into the blue color. Once you really set it, the rest will follow. If you look at the if you make a double selection for Cabriolet, you can move the position of the text and make a position accordingly. And you will notice also there's a few adjustment that you need to do for some of the sofa name. Camelback also, you need to, I just hit the spacebar button on my keyboard just to have a few more spacing so that it will align accordingly. And there you go. So probably maybe just a little bit. Just to right now, there you go. Within a few seconds, you already have completed or fill out the section for your rectangle with images and also the software's name. You can also practice the same technique with the product price, or if you prefer to just type from here, you can just do so as well. So it depends on you which technique you would like to look for. So yeah, there you go. So you can try to practice this repeat rate by importing the images and also the text out from your folder that you have created earlier. Now, let's proceed with component. What is component? Basically, it refers to an icon, graphic, shape, or symbol that you will reuse throughout your design. When designing for a mobile application or website, there are certain elements that you will reuse throughout your design, such as pattern. So in this example, I have another 2 more artboard, which I rename it as a home page, and also Camelback. Camelback referred to this one of the software collection which comes with more detailed information about this particular collection. So for component, let's create a simple button using tools rectangle, or the shortcut is R. Let's create the button and let's change the color. Under the property inspector, set a field. Let's go for darker orange color without the border. So if you don't want to have any border on your button, just untick here. Now, instead of having a sharp rectangle as my button, I prefer to change it into a rounded version of it, which you can just choose at any corner instead of the circle here and just drag to the middle here. You can go for rounded or semi-rounded like this. So let's settle with the shape for my button, and let's type add to cart and change the typeface color to white, and let's go for regular. Selection, go to alignment and align accordingly. Now we have created a simple add to cart button for the homepage design. To apply component, you can make a selection for both elements, right-click and make component, or the shortcut is Ctrl-K. So once you make component, you will notice under the libraries, document asset, component, we have a component that has been created based from this button, which currently renamed as component 2. You can rename your component accordingly so that you will have a systematic workflow, so that it will make you easier when you would like to reuse the same button in the next user interface. So to rename your component, just double click at it, and maybe I just renamed this button as add to cart. And there you go. Now, for this add to cart button, I would like to also copy and appear in this second board, which is this CamelBak Safari collection. So I can just hold Alt and make a paste in this second artboard, and there you go. Now, there are one thing that I would like you to understand with component. Like I've explained earlier, component is the symbol or shape or graphic or an icon that you can reuse throughout your designer user interface. So in this case, I am currently reuse the same button, which is add to cart, but there are different between these two buttons, which is if I click at the first button here, if I zoom in, you will notice that there's a diamond shape with green fill color inside of it, which means this is known as the master component, or we can also refer this as the mother. Meanwhile, the second component that I have copied from the earlier component just now, if I click at it, there's a diamond button, but without the fill color in green. So this one is known as instances component, or you can also refer to this as a child. So let's zoom out. So for the component, any changes has been done, the component, it will affect the instance. So for an example, if I change add to cart with let's shopping, so you will see the changes also happen with the instance component. So, but what if I change something on the instance? Will it change the master component? So let's try to change the let's shopping to add to cart. So you will see that whenever I did any changes to the instance component here, it won't affect the master component. So that's a very huge difference that I need you to understand between the master and also the instance. So this will be very helpful when you are having more user interface that you will be creating for mobile interface later. Now, let's say for this Camelback interface, I would like to add a favorite button. Okay, so favorite button usually you will came across with that, especially for a user to like a certain product. So to do so, you can start with creating a triangle shape, which is the shortcut is Y. Hold Shift button to make sure you have a balanced triangle shape. And on your right corner here, go for Appearance and search for corner count. So here you include the icon less than 3. So this is like a common shortcut for creating the like button. So once you click enter, the triangle will change into the love icon. And let's change the color into red without the border. Now we have created a simple like button that you can either put it here or any place that you prefer to have for your user interface. You can also apply the like button in repeat rate. So to do so, just double click at the first rectangle corner here. Go for triangle tool and just create a simple one. And you will notice once I create the triangle, the rest section will appear the triangle shape as well, because currently we are in the repeat rate mode. Now, repeat with the same process under the corner count here. Include the less than 3 and enter, and change the full color to red and untick the border. The rest will follow. So if I zoom out a bit, and if I move the position of Ctrl Z, if I move the position of my first love, as in the like button, the rest will follow as well. So let's put it inside of it and maybe resize the size of the love a little bit. And you will notice that the rest of the icon for the like button will appear as well. If you are unsatisfied with the position, you can make a selection again, double click at it, and change at the bottom of the image. So feel free to apply this like icon in your user interface, and also the features of repeat grid as in the example, and also the component. In the next lesson, you will start prototyping your design.